Welcome back, cardboard lovers, to Just Nuts Guys. Today we are going over a brand new card revealed from the OCG's Animation Chronicle. It's their set where they just import a bunch of anime cards that have never been printed in the actual card game. So very cool. It also means we'll probably get this card in our Battles of Legend 2021, which recently got announced. For more details on that, I just uploaded a video like 2 days ago on it, so if you want to see what the deal with that is, it looks like it could be a really big set. All right, as far as what we're looking at today, we're looking at Yaoi. Yeah. So this is Yaoi. He is a new ugly monster. I don't think anybody's gonna argue that, but he actually is pretty interesting. He's like new aged Yata-Garasu, and I say that with bated breath. All right, Yaoi. He is a level 3 Earth Reptile. That's really interesting already out the gate. We just got all these Ogdoadic cards. We'll probably get more Ogdoadic cards down the line. So Reptile support is as good as it's ever been generically, which is pretty cool. His attack and defense are 500 apiece. Nothing crazy there. You can only activate this card's effect once per duel. That's how you know it's something a little bit crazy. Also, you can only special summon monster or monsters once the turn you activate this effect. That's also really tough restriction, but we'll talk about that more after the effect. Its effect reads: if it is summoned and no other cards are summoned at the same time, it has to be summoned by himself, you can skip your opponent's next draw phase. Okay, that's where the Yata-Garasu comes from. This is really interesting. Couple things about this out the gate. Just keep in mind it has to be summoned by itself. You can't do some crazy effect where you summon this and something else at the same time. This is just generally better than Yata-Garasu. That was definitely, like, in a slower format, that's where Yata-Garasu could excel, right? Where you're going into these really long duels, and once you can set him up, you are good to go. Whereas this guy, going first, turn 0, you can just summon this guy. Your opponent gets no draw. And then, of course, you have your restrictions, which are very brutal. The fact that this is once per turn, so it's not even like you can attempt to keep summoning him back turn after turn to keep your opponent from getting pluses off of their draw phase is tough. But also the fact that you can only special summon once the same turn. It's really important to note this isn't just after this effect is activated. It's the whole turn entirely. So you can either normal summon this and special summon one other monster or monsters. It's just one summon, not one monster, which is important to note as well. Or you can normal summon something else and special summon this guy some way, somehow, right? Obviously that depends. It's just kind of tough. I think I think it really is tough. The problem is, like, going first, maybe he's cool. Maybe he's a one-of in a very specific deck. I also wish his stats were better. That's another thing with this card is, like, 500. He's once per duel, and you can only summon one other time. I wish he was at least 1800. That way, like, maybe in, like, a stun strategy, you just, like, have plays where you just play one copy of this guy. You normal summon him. He's a beater, if he was a beater. Take away your opponent's, like, free, draw on their next turn, and you got enough traps to kind of hold the game down. Unfortunately, that's not the case. 500 is extremely weak. But I don't know. It's a cool card. I think, honestly, for modern day Yu-Gi-Oh, it's probably better than Yata-Garasu. I mean, Yata-Garasu just takes so much setup and it does nothing turn 0. Completely useless because it needs the battle phase. So at least this guy going first has some legitimacy of keeping your opponent off of their first +1. If your play is just normal summon this guy and then set 4 traps, that can win some duels. I mean, eventually you need to draw into some way to apply pressure, but you're going to stop your opponent almost guaranteed unless they have haymakers like Lightning Storm, Harvey Celeste, Twin Twisters, right, to take care of the back row. But other than that, you should be good to go. I don't know. It's a cool card. It's an anime card. I don't see it actually being competitive unless there are combos. No, there's no combos, right? Like, that's the thing. Yeah, I'm talking myself in and out of this. There's just no combos because you can only summon once. Well, special summon once while the same turn this card uses its effect. So I don't know. It's a cool card. It's modern day Yata-Garasu. It's an interesting card. It's reptile, all that stuff. I just don't think it with the restrictions, it just can't really be facilitated in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh. So, yeah, just want to make a note of this card. We haven't gotten new cards in a minute. I thought he was interesting because he is Yata-Garasu-esque, you know, in a style of effect. But I think he does miss the mark competitively, which is probably good. We probably don't need an unhealthy card like Yata-Garasu that could be abused on turn 0, because like drawing cards every turn is like, I don't know, it's such an integral part of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? You can top deck good things, you can find your way out of situations, and this guy just takes away the ability to do that. So yeah. Yeah, let me know your thoughts down below on this card. I don't think it's anything crazy. I think it's it's fun. All right, that's it. And by fun, I mean not fun if you're playing against it. But let me know your thoughts down below on this card. What do you think? Do you think there are other applications I'm not thinking of for this? Because I think it's pretty dang restricted. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date on all Yu-Gi-Oh news. We should be getting a lot more Animation Chronicle coming up. We should be getting King's Court reveals very soon. We are almost a month away from that. We've got reveals for like the God Structure decks, OTS Pack 16. We've got the new core set, and then soon after that, we're gonna start getting Battles of Legends stuff, all that. There's a ton of stuff coming. I'll just tell you that. There's just a ton of stuff coming. So stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel to get all news on that, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.